with housing authorities all across the country, and housing authority is a federal entity. So what they're doing is they're using federal vouchers and dangling like a carrot in front of these folks and saying, hey,
you're taking free money.
You don't have to stay here. You can take your voucher and you can move anywhere in the United States. You know, you can even go to Hawaii if you want.
And it
you
sounds
go to
good.
Puerto Rico. It sounds extremely good.
And
who wouldn't want to go live in Puerto Rico in the nice warm weather?
It's bait.
You got sun year round. Like it's bait. So what you're doing is you're forcing the people out by using vouchers. And these folks don't, they don't have an opportunity. I mean, they don't have a say into this. They do, but they don't. Well,
some don't have the mindset.
I wouldn't say they have the mindset, but they're being influenced. They're being influenced to say, hey, and then on top of that, they're being influenced, but at the same time, they're being pressured.
Right.
That, hey, if you don't accept this, you will lose it, and you're not coming back here. So the folks just like, oh,
there's no way out.
I need to do whatever I have to do to secure a roof over the head for my family.
There's no way out. All right, cool. So you was announced candidacy, right, for the 140th State House District, and you won that.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that feeling.
Well, that feeling is surreal, man. I mean, it's just like I have to equate it to me even when I became world champion, man. That feeling was paramount because I just thought that, for me, for all the hard work that we put in and everything that we had to endure during that process of campaigning from March all the way through November,
right?
That was a grueling task, and it was just unfortunate that we had an apparatus, a big political machine that was backing my opponents, and and I was the only real candidate that really had public service, that really served the city and served the people. Well,
right.
You know what? But at the end of the day, man, look, I took a big pay cut because, hey, for me to put that much attention and focus on running for the city and running for the people, that means that I really wasn't taking the fights that I could have taken.
Right.
I was in the training camps. I wasn't.
Right.
I could have got paid for a lot of different sources.
So what you're saying is you put the people first.
I put the people over me making a lot of other money that I really could have made.
Right.
But you know what? That's something again that I don't look back on and say, I regret it. Because
right.
I think win, lose, or draw, I'm always going to win long as I'm fighting for what's right.
You proved that.
Yeah, and I'm continuing to prove it, and it's not over. We just beginning. We're going to be up in Hartford at the state, and we're gonna really transform how business is being done here in Connecticut, man, and hope that we can set a precedence for the entire nation, and hopefully inspire other folks that live in that are just like me, that came from the backgrounds that I came from, to get involved. You don't mean you didn't have to be a Yale graduate like my man Dave over here. You don't have to be an Ivy League grad to get involved and be a part of that process and really making real change in your community. It just take a desire. It just take a person to say enough is enough. And you know what? You don't look at the negative parts of what could not happen and what negative effects could come from this.
Right.
You're doing it because you're passionate about it. You really want to make change and change someone's life. So that's what I focus on. That hey, as long as I stay on point and stay moving this direction and doing it and fighting for the right reasons, I'm never going to fail.
But this gotta come with frustrations, though, doesn't it?
It comes with too much frustration.
Right.
Too much frustration, and you know what? I like I said, I don't care if I'm 75 years old. I'd rather be a world champion. I'd rather be a professional fighter than be dealing with this craziness. But you know what? This is the path.
You're state rep, though.
This is the path that I chose, man. And you know what? And I'm not gonna. I don't believe in turning my back. Just because things get rough, things get a little challenging. That's when you gotta dig your heels in a little hard, a little deeper, and say, you know what? You gotta ride this. You gotta ride this tide right now. And you gotta make sure that you change it into a way that really is gonna benefit the people that you represent.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the people that they anticipate or expect you to be that voice, and for them. So, and I figure every time I think about just saying, you know what, why am I doing this? I'm losing money. I'm losing time spent with my family, etc. But when I think about quitting it, I kind of get that push, that little joke in the back of me again, you know, that competitiveness. Say, man, you're not a quitter. You're not a quitter, and you're not gonna quit on the people, man. And that's why I'm continue to advocate, continue to fight for what's right, man, and make sure that we change the dynamics in this state, man. We're gonna make sure that, you know, everyone has a real chance, no matter your financial background. We're gonna make sure everyone has a seat at the table and you know, really speak up for them.
Next 5 years, where do you see yourself?
Next 5 years.
Good question.
Good question. Good question. He got me on the ropes with this one, but I see myself still being in public service, really advocating for the people and really putting forth that effort, man, and that fight, and making sure that, you know, we change it. Because I truly and honestly believe, you know, things aren't going to change that much different than it is from today. So that my fight continues. And I think that it continues, but it strengthens, because I think we'll, you know, from interviews like this and from me knocking on these doors and campaigning and talking to the people in the communities, that we will get people excited and get people back to believing into politics and believing in the process, because that's the only way it works, that the people participate. And not participating in it is you giving these people a platform to really to continue this agenda to oppress you, and we need to change that. And the way you change that is people get involved.
Nice. 15 seconds. You got the chance to tell the people whatever you want to tell them. Go.
People, if I you know, you learn nothing else, get involved in your city. Make it what you want. Don't let people dictate to tell you exactly what you need and what you desire. You go out there and you force that by putting people in place that's going to fight for you, be your voice, and people that's going to really stand up for you. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing with my platform up in Hartford. I'm gonna fight for the people. I'm gonna fight for every urban community around this state. I'm gonna fight for the taxpayers. So this is the beginning, and I hope that I inspire everyone else to get involved.
The champ is here. The champ is here. Listen, thank you again. Now I mean, yo.
That's it?
I enjoyed it. Oh, you said you needed a half. You want what? We got you. So check it out. Let's set the 15 minutes. Yo, that was no closing. I told you exactly half was bet. You got time?
You know.
So, all right. You have, again, from boxing to this, right? Give me your most memorable moment in politics.
Ooh. My most memorable moment. My most memorable moment. My most memorable moment will have to be. I was again up against some an apparatus in politics, and as you know, politics is all, you know, most of these folks is driven by ego and about their self-serving needs.
Yeah, for me, and all that.
Yeah, for me, it was never about that. So it was like for me to turn that tide and really take things in a different direction. You know, I really had to go against the status quo, and we had some political bigwigs that was in power, man. I had to go against these guys, man. And you know what? I prevailed, because I had great friendships from individuals like David Watts, who's here with me tonight, man. So that's true friendship right there, man.
This your right hand right here.
This is my guy right here.
Got you.
This is my guy right here, man. And you know, we had other individuals from the community, young folks, that we got together and we said, you know what, we're gonna change this, because if these guys are able to do it this long, we as young folks, we can band together and really change it and make it more desirable the way we want things to be in our community.
Nice. I want to talk for my young ones out there. All right. What are some things that you feel that we can do? And I say we because I wouldn't involve myself.
Okay.
All right. What are some things that we can? I know we said something about the programs. You were saying like programs that need to be created for them.
Right.
What are other things, like other avenues for the kids?
All right.
I mean, because being the fact that, to be honest, right. I know I get it from both ends. Being in New York and being here in Connecticut, right? In New York, there's a lot of things, you know, maybe they don't take advantage of it, but there's a lot of things that kids do as far as adults really spending time with these kids. You don't see a lot of that here. You know, trips. Again, the only thing I could really think of in Norwalk, I want to say, is the Carver. Being that I worked there for a few summers, you know, we taking kids, you know, like college tours. I think that's the best coming out of Norwalk. You know, so shout out to the Carver. I remember back then there was Benson Cashmere and a few other folks over there who would take these Gail, who would take these kids out and they would go, take them to the college tours, opening them up to different experiences, shining a light, etc., etc. I believe there's other things that we can do. Maybe I don't know it offhand, but what are some things off the top of your head that you think that we can do in order to engage the youth into something more positive?
Well, again, I just think that there needs to be more folks to not to really think about the community, think about really the needs that are lacking in our community, and really put forth nonprofit organizations that really geared towards really helping these kids, man. And all it takes, and it's not one organization that's going to help all the kids. It's going to take many organizations to really come about to really create change in the community. So everyone, whatever you offer, I don't care if it's hair braiding to cycling to blowing a whistle, whatever you have to really to offer to really change the perspectives and change the lives of these kids. Put it out there, because you never know which one is interested in what you have to offer and the tools that you display. Or that you home. So we want to make sure that everyone has a bite at the apple. So I don't think that you gotta, your ideas are corny. I don't look at any idea or any initiative as something that is whack or corny or something that's not what will be desirable. I think that this because if an individual is involved in the particular process or initiative, I think there's younger kids that's coming up that will probably
somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah, someone's gonna like it. So I'm like, hey, put it out there. The more you have, the more opportunities that these kids will have.
I agree.
So don't turn your back and say I'm not gonna do it because of fear or because you think that you're not gonna get a lot of participation in it. Just put it out there, and it's like throwing it on the wall and see what'll stick. And I guarantee you'll have a lot more sticking to the wall than not.
Right.
So I tell people like this here, and I think the only way that we control our own destinies, man, we got to control our finances in the urban community, man. I think what we as black and brown people, we have to really control our finances, control our economics, man. And that's the only way that people are going to really respect you.
I agree.
And so for me, I would love to. I want to probably look into starting the first Chamber of Commerce, African American Chamber of Commerce in the city of Norwalk.
Okay.
And from there, I would like to look into investing in, starting investment clubs and starting opening up our own African American bank in Norwalk. And African American people, listen, people don't understand. African Americans, we got the biggest buying power in the world,
and that's a problem.
It's a huge problem.
It's a problem.
And everyone's getting rich. Everyone's getting rich, but us. But we have the biggest buying power in the world. We buy from everybody else. So I see that as a big issue, and I would like to even fix that. And I think what we have to do as a people, we have to start supporting and buying from one another, and keeping that dollar in our communities for at least 30 days, instead of that money being spent with other communities, the Chinese and the Indians and everyone else. That because when they get that money, guess what? That money is being shipped back to their countries. Okay, because no one's coming in our communities and spending that money, but we're going to spend our money, and they're coming in our communities, and we're buying from them.
Yes.
Then that money going right back out of our community. So that's a big issue, and I think we as a people, and this is not. I want to say this is not a racial.
Nah, it's just mental slavery.
Right? This is just a mental slavery, and this isn't something that. This is something that just came about. This is something that's been happening to us as a people for over 200 years, man. So, for me, I want to really put those initiatives into our communities. You really want to be a change agent? That's how you change. You changing with the dollar. Okay, you change them by taking your money and you spending your money with your own people in your community. Okay, because no one's going to come in your community and give you $4 million to buy up dilapidated buildings and fix them up and rent it back out to people that look like you. Okay, so the only way you do that is you put your money together, you invest back in your community together, and you rent to the people that look like you.
See, that's tough too, because at the end of the day, like, not for nothing, it's not just a great idea. It's really the beginning of the process. You get what I'm saying? It's really the beginning of the process. It's just a crazy situation how many of us are so accustomed to just being who and what we are. You know, which I'll be honest is a whole lot of mental slavery.
Well,
like we're so
that's slave mentality.
It is. It's you're putting yourself back with the buck. You get me?
Right.
And then all the blame you buck it on somebody else. In reality, I mean, and at the end of the day, we're all at fault.
Well, we're at fault, but you know, the way things are done here, in especially in New England, right? You know, if you go to the South, you racism is gonna be there, and
right.
and those folks out there, you know, they don't hide behind their racism. They tell you straight up. You know, they don't like you. They don't want you in their community and in their neighborhood or what have you. Here it's a bit different, okay? Because these folks here smile on your face, pat you on your back, and stab, and then kind of kick you on your way out.
You see it.
Right? And you don't see it here, but you feel it later on, man. And that's something like that is very sinister to me, because it's like, you know, who can you trust? And I stopped putting my trust in thinking that they're going to do the right thing and do something that's best for all the people.
So this is where you change yourself.
The only way you change yourself, and then you're able to go back to your community where you're from, and then you have those real conversations and those meaningful conversations, and you know what, and you hope that, you know, other folks gravitate to you, and you guys can come together collectively and really make a real change in your community.
If you can have anybody on your team, doesn't matter who it is that comes to mind, to help you and your ideas progress, right? Whatever their strengths may be, who would that be?
God, because you know what, that listen.
I should have said besides that, right?
You know,
I should have
because you know, people can fail you, man can fail you, women can fail you, God won't fail you, man. So as long as you persevere, man, you work hard and you do it the right way, you know, you always gonna, you know, it may not come out exactly how you want it, but it's gonna manifest, and it's gonna be something that's great that you can be proud of.
Right.
So for me, I just keep pushing and making sure that I stay true to who I am, and really not deviating or changing for that. And I don't think a suit or a title is gonna really make me look at myself and say, you know what, you gotta be somebody different. You gotta act like this person or what have you. No, I'm not Obama. I'm not L Sharp. I'm Travis Sims, and that's who I am. I'm gonna be a fighter for the people, and I'm continue to fight for the people. That's not gonna change. And I'm gonna stay real to who I am, and I think people appreciate that a lot more as we go along this journey.
Dope. Again, I want to thank you for coming through. I think we definitely gonna need a round two. Ding, 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 that was a joke.
You know, not to do bells around the chin. Punches might be flying everywhere. I'm not responsible.
Just watch the left.
Sign this disclosure.
Before we close out, is there anything you want to say? Anything? I know I gave you the 15 seconds, but is there anything you feel like you left out that you want to tell the people? Like, especially the ones that you know that you're fighting for, whether the kids, the adults, the community within themselves.
I'll just say, be brave. Don't get complacent. Don't have to get comfortable where you think that you don't have to strive, you don't have to push, you don't have to excel higher. Because as long as you breathing, you always gonna have to reach for the stars, man. And you know what? And especially when you bring in kids in this world, you gotta work 10 times harder, because you don't want them to grow up and that's in a different cycle. You want them to come up and be brave. You want them to come up and be pioneers. You want them to come up and be leaders in your community. So, you know, kids are impressionable, and I think that, you know, if we are going to be a community, we're going to be leaders in our community. We got to make sure that we are walking the walk, but and talking the talk, but making sure we're doing it in a way that's going to make our youth be proud, and we also want to be engaged and be a part of the process.
Definitely. Well, you've now been tuned to the Dear Brother podcast. You're not just listening to myself, you're listening to Councilman Travis L. Sims. Again, thanks a lot, brother.
Well, I want to correct you on that. I'm not Councilman Travis L. Sims.
Oh, state rep.
I'm state representative elect,
you know,
and as of Wednesday, I will be the new state representative of the 140th district.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and you know, big shout outs to Connecticut, man. We're gonna do some great things.
Let's
man.
continue fighting for
Let's
what you're
go.
fighting for, man. Like to see you be a champ on and off the ring. That's something like, you know, saying many people can't say, if anybody could at all, man. Just keep that up. Again,
Appreciate that.
On behalf of everybody else who's listening, On behalf of the city of Norwalk, man, we thank you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. And I look forward to really doing some really good things here in Connecticut.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
Woo!
Al!
Hi.
Yeah, I ain't talking about